Right, Lydia, thanks very much indeed.
Okay.
Garrett Langley is the CEO of Flock Safety, and Garrett joins me now. I want to break down some of these new modifications, so to speak. First of all, how do you stop abnormal searches by the police? Because there have been several incidents of this, and it's riled people up. How do you stop it?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think police abuse of power existed far earlier than when I started Flock 9 years ago. We're the first company to shine a light on it. We helped solve over 1 million crimes last year, so we know what normal investigations look like. And so we built a tool about 4 months ago to automatically flag potentially abusive behavior. Okay. About a third of our customers optionally turned it on, and the headlines speak for themselves. It's working. And so as of today, we are now requiring all of law enforcement to use this. And my hope is that the rest of the industry wakes up and continues to build this type of tooling to prevent abuse of not just Flock, but of every tool they have access.
So what about data retention and the use of your cameras in evidence? What are you changing there?
Yeah, so, before Flock started, license plate readers had been around for decades, and the historical precedent was storing this data forever. And as an average citizen, that felt irresponsible. So we started with 30 days. And law enforcement was worried. Could they actually solve crime that fast? And I can tell you today, over 90% of the cases solved using Flock are done in 7 days. And so we're suggesting to every city to adopt a 7-day retention policy. I still believe our elected officials should have final control of how long this data is stored, but our professional recommendation is 7 days now.
Why do you think there's been so much backlash over your cameras? There's a nationwide demonstration coming up soon. They want to stop it nationwide. Why this heavy-duty backlash?
Yeah, well, look, I think this is an important debate. How do we build a society where we're safe and privacy coexists? Yeah. I've never met someone that doesn't want to be safer, but the question is, how do we get there? Now, I have a firm belief that there's a way we can get there responsibly. And some people disagree, and that's okay. I think where you see most of the backlash, though, it's on misinformation. We don't sell this data. Our customers own it. We don't do facial recognition. We simply read a license plate as a car drives by, and then at the end of 7 days, if it's not associated with a criminal investigation, the data is deleted.
Okay. I understand you've been involved in what is it? Is it 100,000 investigations?
Over 1 million last year alone.
Okay, and you've found 10,000 missing people because of the use of the camera?
Last year alone. Yes, sir, yeah. I mean, and even let's look more recently in July. So just in July of last month, over 1,125 missing people and over 20,000 stolen vehicles. And if you think about a stolen vehicle, it might seem like a petty, small crime. That's how people get to work. That's how people drive their kids to school. Stealing a vehicle is the beginning of more likely and much more severe crime. So the results are astonishing. And I think I was speaking to a sheriff just down in Florida who said, I wish people could realize that the reason why crime is going down in America is because of Flock. And look, we talk about these numbers, but I think for me personally, I'm a father of 3 little kids. And just last week, there was a 2-year-old kid abducted in Atlanta. It was a stolen car gone wrong. That child was returned safely within the hour. And I hate to think about what could happen if Flock wasn't there.
Understood. Garrett Langley, thank you very much for being on the show today. Much appreciated. Hope to see you again in the studio. Thanks very much, sir.